Hi everyone. This is the brief lecture on the understanding the role of culture, which we'll be having discussion on Thursday, 29th of August. As you can see, the learning goals are how to understand the culture in the context of global management, and since you're doing assignment too, in group. So all of you have to apply the concept from these slides. So it would be better that you hear this podcast and then come to class on Thursday. Now, if you go to the slide which talks about the culture and its effect on organization. This is slide number 8. What is culture? Culture is a set of shared values, understandings, assumptions, goals that we learn from our earlier generation, and it is applied to the society, to the community, and it is passed on to the next generation. How it is relevant to global management? Well, when we are doing business with other countries, we are required to understand the culture of every country, and then when we do business with them, we have to respect the culture and the customs. And if we are able to understand them better, it will make our chances of doing business for a long term. Now, there are a lot of cultural variables like values, norms, and beliefs which we have to understand. Then it's also the attitude of the people of every country in respect of work, time, whether they're punctual or not, materialism or spiritualism, individualism or working as a team, understanding change or not. Also, there is another aspect like individual and group behavior in respect of commitment, following ethics, motivation, productivity. Also, there are social cultures like religion, education, and language, national variables. So all these things like political system, technological advancement, legal system, all these things have an impact. So whenever one country wants to deal with another country, like in your assignment, some of you are dealing with China, some of you are dealing with India, some of you are trying to do business with other countries from New Zealand, you'll have to consider all these factors in order to create a successful transaction. What is important is that we have to understand the cultural sensitivity of the other country, because it shows then how caring we are and how we think in the interest of the other country people. So we are going to understand what are the different dimensions and differences which are there among different countries. Not only there is difference between country to country, but also there is difference between companies to companies. Like the culture of IBM is very different from Apple. Apple culture is very different from Samsung. Similarly, a Mercedes company car company in Germany is different from a Chrysler car company in US. So we have to understand if they have to deal with each other, they have to understand the culture of one another. For example, in US, the culture will be, dimensions will be like individual influence the future, like Mark Zuckerberg or Steve Jobs or Bill Gates. But there are some countries where they feel that life is already decided how the human beings are going to live on this planet. These two different way of thinking in two different countries can affect how people plan for the future. In US, the general thinking is that environment is changeable, whereas some countries feel that it is the people who have to adjust to the environment. Now, if these two different type of thinking are there, it will affect the morality, the productivity of both the countries. In US, they believe hard work leads to success. In some countries, they believe luck is required to be successful. This again will depend on their motivation to work and the rewards they expect. In US culture, they feel that employment can be ended if you don't work well. But in some countries, like Japan and also in India, they believe that employment is a lifetime goal. Once you join a company, you are with them for your whole lifetime. This has impact on the promotions and the recruitment. So if one company from New Zealand or from US wants to set up an office in China or India, this aspect will have to be taken, and also vice versa. If Chinese company or Indian company has to go to US, then they will have to know the culture over there. Now, how does it affect the management of a company? Well, one of the things is that some cultures, they are pluralist in the sense that they consider and respect all cultures. But there are some countries where ethnocentrism is the belief, which means that they believe their culture is superior to the other cultures. So therefore, um, one has to consider all these factors. In some countries, they adopt and accept the flexibility of subcultures. They have one main culture and then all other cultures develop underneath. For example, Canada or New Zealand, main culture is Maori culture, but they have adopted diverse cultures over here. It's a pot boiling with different cultures. Whereas there are other countries where stereotyping is there, the culture is very, very hard to change, and people over there expect everyone who comes there to adopt their culture. So, if you go from one culture to another, you will have to consider these factors. How the cultures influence the people and their behavior. What are the factors? Well, religion is a factor, then health system is a factor, political system, economic system, education system, and many other factors are there which will influence the way people behave in different countries. Let's look at religion and the workplace. Religion itself is a kind of a culture. It decides the morality and the economic norms, how people conduct their business, and managers who go from foreign country to work into another place must understand these norms and must try to see that they adjust to it or they understand it, otherwise they will fail as managers. managers. A lot of research has been done around the globe, and some cultures are assertive. That means they expect managers to act tough. For example, the assertiveness is very low in Sweden, Japan, and Switzerland, which means that they are very sympathetic to their workers. They expect loyalty instead of being tough. Whereas assertiveness is very high in Greece, Austria, and Germany. Another factor is performance orientation, how much importance they give to performance. It's very low in Russia, Argentina, and Italy, where they believe in families, traditions over performance. But performance expectations are very high in US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. How people look at the future. Do they consider future to be important while working? Well, not Russians, not Argentinians or Italians. But yes, Netherlands, people from Netherlands, Switzerland, Singapore, they are very much consider the future when they do the work in the present. What about humane nature? Low in Germany, Spain, and France, but high in Malaysia, Ireland, Philippines. So these things have to be considered. Well, we have so far considered 20 slides, and we will discuss about these slides in the class so that you can get an idea about the culture and communication. And then I would expect you to listen to this before coming to the class, and then do two research articles. You find out about your country you've selected in the context of culture and how you will communicate to the other party with whom you're going to deal. These things we'll be doing on Thursday, and we'll go systematically, first trying to understand the goals and then trying to discuss on these slides, and then doing some research work, and then having a total discussion about your feedback. What do you think about it, and how you are going to apply it to your assignment? So, good luck and best of luck. See you on Thursday. Thank you very much.